Hi Krishna, everyone. Welcome to you, Jam. It's so nice to see all of you here. If you're able to, please do turn on your videos. And if you'd like to rename yourself, you can put your name next to where you're joining us from. Nice to see you, Arav, Akshaj, Maithili, Vivan, all the regulars. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we start, like we always do, we'll start you, Jam, with a little prayer, and I'll send some links in the chat. So if you're new to UGEM and you want to know more about us, you can check those out. And there's also some resources there for the shlokas we read. All right, would anyone like to nominate someone to make a prayer today? I nominate Parth. Does anybody have another nomination? Okay, Adri has seconded the nomination. Go ahead, Parth. There's a prayer format in the chat to help you.
Yeah. My dear Shri Shri Radha Kalachadji, if you so desire, please make this UTM successful and make everybody learn something out of it. Thank you for considering my request.
What a beautiful prayer. Thank you, Parth. It's nice to know that we are praying to Kalachandji today because you're from Dallas. All right. So we'll start off by doing our chat, our chapter a day. And I believe we're on chapter 10 currently. And we'll have Abe lead us to that into that discussion.
If you want to read, you can just put your hand up for the chat. It'll come on the screen soon, and everyone can read 5 verses each.
Abe, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhuya eva mahabaho shinu me paramam vacha yatteham priyamanaya bhakshyami hitakamaya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna. Because you are my dear friend, for your benefit I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I've already explained. Name vidhu saragana prabhavam nama harshaya aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasha." Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Yo mam ajam anadim cha veti loka maheshwaram asamudha samartyeshu sarva paphe pramuchyate. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme lord of all the worlds, he only deluded among men is freed from all sins. Buddhirgyanam asomaha kshama satyam dhamma shama sukham dukkham bhava bhava bhayam chabhayam evacha ahimsa samata tushtis tapodanam yasho yasha bhavanti bhava bhutanam mata eva pratigvidha. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusions, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth and death, fearlessness, nonviolence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. Adhiraj, you can go ahead.
Maharshaya saptapurve chatvaro manavastata madbhava manasa jata yesham loka ima praja. The seven great sages, and before them the four other great sages and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vetti tattvatah so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra samshayah. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Machchitta madgada prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Arav.
तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशां यात्मभावस्तो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam ajam vibhum ahustvam rashaya sarve devashir naradastata asito devalo vyasa swayam chaiva bravishime. Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me." Sarvametadritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva nadanava. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Swayamevātmanātmānam vetatvam purushottama bhutabhavana bhutesha devadeva jagatpate. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe.
Navya, go ahead. We can't hear you. Okay, I'll just read the next verse. Hopefully it comes back. Vaktam arhasya sheshna divya hyatma vibhutaya yabhir vibhutvir lokan imam stvam vyapya tishtasi. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. Okay, Madhuri, you can read the last 5.
Katam vidyamaham yoginstam sada parichintayan keshu keshu chabhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you, and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya kataya triptirhi shinvato nasti me mritam. O Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic powers of your opulences. I'm never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Hanta Te Katayashyami Devya Hi Atma Vibhutaya Pradhanyata Kuru Shreshta Yastanto Vistarasya Me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhuta Sahastita Aham Adishcha Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Anta Eva Cha. I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Should I continue? I think, yeah, just
I
last
think
one.
it's 21, yeah.
I'm sorry. Adityanam aham Vishnu Jyotisham ya Ravir Amshuman Merichir Maritam Asmi Nakshataranam aham Shashi. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon.
Okay, thank you everyone. So that was our daily Chad reading, and then we can move on to Sri Ishopanishad. So for this, we'll be reading just the translation. If It'll be up on the screen in a second, and it's the same thing again. If you want to raise your hands, if you want to read, everyone will read 5 verses again.
Sorry, give me one sec.
Okay, thank you, Manu. Okay, anyone who would like to read, please raise your hand. All right, go ahead. Mike.
Just the
Just the translation, yeah.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because he is perfect, completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. Everything animate and inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. One may aspire to live for hundreds of years if he continuously goes on working in that way, for that sort of work will not bind him to the law of karma. There is no alternative to this way for man. The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of faithlessness, full of darkness and ignorance. Although fixed in his abode, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and the rain, he surpasses all in excellence. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but he is still very near as well. He is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything.
He who sees systematically everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord with everything, never hates anything or any being. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks in quality, one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? Such a person must factually know the greatest of all, the personality of Godhead, who is unembodied, omniscient, beyond reproach, without veins, pure and uncontaminated, the self-sufficient philosopher who has been fulfilling everyone's desires since time immemorial. Those who engage in the culture of nascent activities shall enter into the darkest region of ignorance. Worse still are those engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge. The wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge, and that a different result is obtained from the culture of nescience.
Only one who can learn the process of nescience and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. Those who are engaged in the worship of demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more so do the worshippers of the impersonal Absolute. It is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that another result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities who clearly explained it. One should know perfectly the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna and his transcendental name, form, qualities, and pastimes, as well as the temporary material creation of its temporary demigods, men, and animals. When one knows these, he surpasses death and the ephemeral cosmic manifestation with it, and in the eternal kingdom of God he enjoys his eternal life of bliss and knowledge. O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee.
O my Lord, O primordial philosopher, maintainer of the universe, O regulating principle, destination of the pure devotees, elevation of the progenitors of mankind, please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays so that I can see your form of bliss. You are the eternal supreme personality of Godhead, like unto the sun as my. Let this temporary body be burned to ashes, and let the air of life be merged with the totality of air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices, and because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I've done for you. O my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisances falling on the ground at your feet. O my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I've done in the past, please free me from the reactions to my past sins so that there will be no hindrance to my progress.
Okay, thank you everyone. So now we'll go deep into Shri Upanishad verse 6. And Mayuri, since you had your hand up, you can read the verse and translation of that first. And the purport here is very interesting, so everyone please keep an eye out for what sticks out and we can discuss after.
1 second. यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मन्येवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्स्यते. He who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything or any being. This is a description of the Bhagavata, the great personality who sees everything in relationship to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord's presence is realized in 3 stages. The Kanishta Adhikari is in the lowest stage of realization. He goes to a place of worship, such as a temple, church, or mosque, according to his religious faith, and worships there according to scriptural injunctions. Devotees in this stage consider the Lord to be present at the place of worship and nowhere else. They cannot ascertain who is in what position in devotional service, nor can they tell who has realized the Supreme Lord. Such devotees follow the routine formulas and sometimes quarrel among themselves, considering one type of devotion better than another. These Kanishta Adhikaris are actually materialistic devotees who are simply trying to transcend the material boundary to reach the spiritual plane. Those who have attained the second stage of realization are called Madhyama Adhikaris. These devotees observe the distinctions between 4 categories of beings: 1. The Supreme Lord; 2. The devotees of the Lord; 3. The innocent, who have no knowledge of the Lord; and 4. The atheists, who have no faith in the Lord and hate those in devotional service. The Madhyama Adhikari behaves differently towards these 4 classes of person. He adores the Lord, considering him the object of love, and he makes friends with those who are in devotional service. He tries to awaken the dormant love of God in the heart of the innocent, and he avoids the atheists, who deride the very name of the Lord.
Above the Madhyama Adhikari is the Uttama Adhikari, who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee does not discriminate between atheist and a theist, but sees everyone as part and parcel of God. He knows that there is no essential difference between a vastly learned brahmana and a dog in the street, because both of them are part and parcel of the Lord, although they're encaged in different bodies on account of the different qualities of their activities in their previous lives. He sees that the Brahmana particle of the Supreme Lord has not misused his little independence given him by the Lord, and that dog particle has misused his independence and is therefore being punished by the laws of nature, being encaged in the form of a dog. Not considering the respective actions of the Brahmana and the dog, the Uttama Adhikari tries to do good to both. Such a learned devotee is not misled by material bodies, but is attracted by the spiritual spark within them. Those who imitate an Uttama Adhikari by flaunting a sense of oneness or fellowship, but who behave on the bodily platform are actually false philanthropists. The connection The conception of universal brotherhood must be learned from an Uttamadhikari and not a foolish person who does not properly understand the individual soul or the Supreme Lord's supersoul expansion who dwells everywhere.
It is clearly mentioned in the sixth mantra that one should observe or systematically see. This means that one must follow the previous acharyas, the perfected teachers. Anupasyati is the exact Sanskrit word used in this connection. Anu means to follow, and pasyati means to observe. Thus, the word anupashyati means that one should not see things as he does with the naked eye, but should follow the previous acharyas. Due to material defects, the naked eye cannot see anything properly. One cannot see properly unless one has heard from a superior source, and the highest source is the Vedic wisdom, which is spoken by the Lord Himself. Vedic truths are coming in disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada to Vyasa, and from Vyasa to his many disciples. Formerly, there was no need to record the messages of the Vedas, because people in earlier ages were more intelligent and had sharper memories. They could follow the instructions simply by hearing once from the mouth of a bona fide spiritual master. At present, there are many commentaries on the revealed scriptures, but most of them are not in the line of disciplic succession, coming from Srila Vyasadeva, who originally compiled the Vedic wisdom. The final, most perfect and sublime work by Srila Vyasadeva is Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. There's also the Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by the Lord Himself and recorded by Vyasadeva. These are the most important revealed scriptures, and any commentary that contradicts the principles of the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam is unauthorized. There is complete agreement upon the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutras, Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam, and no one should try to reach any conclusion about the Vedas without receiving instructions from members of Vyasadev's disciplic succession who believe in the personality of Godhead and his diverse energies, as they are explained in Sri Ishupanishad.
According to Bhagavad Gita 18.54, only one who is already on the liberated platform of Brahma Bhuta can become an Uttama Adhikari, devotee, and see every living being as his own brother. Thus, this vision cannot be had by politicians who are always after some material gain. One who imitates the symptoms of an Uttama Adhikari may serve another's outward body for the purpose of fame or material reward, but he does not serve the spirit soul. Such an imitator can have no information of the Supreme Lord. The Uttama Adhikari sees the spirit soul within the material body and serves him as spirit. Thus, the material aspect is automatically served.
Thank you, everyone. And as promised before, we will have a short discussion before we move on. So would anyone like to share anything that caught their eye while we were reading that purport? Part?
Oh, one thing that caught my eye was that there were so many Vedas before, and people would just go on reading all those Vedas. But now Srila Vasudev has summed all of those Vedas into Srimad Bhagavatam, and if we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll learn all the Vedas. It's like a summary of all the Vedas.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And even Srila Vyasadeva wasn't happy after writing all of the Vedas, and his guru Narada Muni told him that you're not happy because you haven't actually shown this essence. in the Bhagavatam. Vivan?
So one thing that caught my eye in the purport of the mantra was that there's three stages of a devotee. So the lowest stage is just like going to a religious institution and like praying and coming out. And then like the second level is seeing like all different people in four categories. So like first category is the Lord himself, the second category are devotees of the Lord. The third category is people that don't know who the Lord is, but are not adverse to the Lord. And the fourth category is like atheists, who people like who know who the Lord is, but like don't like the idea of him. So basically, I really like that point because it makes you think about, and yeah, and then the highest stage is that someone who sees the spirit spark in everyone and thinks of them as their own brother. And what I really liked about that point was that like just by seeing that you can tell like what category people are in. And like let's say you think that you're in the middle stage, right? You can see that, yeah, actually I do that. Like I avoid atheists, like I don't go and preach to them. So like what I really liked about that point was like just seeing like in real life, yeah, that's really true. And also like the example that Prabhupada gave is like politicians cannot be in the topmost stage because they only care about like world matters and they don't see everyone as the same like same as like a spirit spark.
Yeah, that's a really good catch. And I think these three distinctions are also a standard by which we can analyze ourselves and see where am I, where are the other devotees that I can look up to, and how are these stages treating different people who are all parts and parcels of the Lord. And speaking of that, I wanted to bring up something interesting that I found, which was that this verse talks about the Mahabhagavats. It said in the beginning of the purport, those who see everything in relation to Krishna. So I was wondering if you all thought of any people that you know now or anyone that you've heard of that exemplifies this characteristic of connecting everything to the Lord. Would anyone like to share anyone that comes to mind when you think about this?
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada is a really good one. Yeah. Anyone else thinking of other devotees? Abhay, you're muted.
Yeah, one time in Rath Yatra, Hanumat Prashik Swami was there in San Francisco, and he saw like the signs on the side of the road, like the bike signs, and there's like two wheels and like the handlebars below it, and he was like, it's like Jagannath's eyes and his smile. That's kind of funny.
Wow. That's really revealing of how he thinks of everything in relation to the Lord. Manya?
Yeah, this past Radhashtami, Radha March was given the class, and a baby started crying in the class, and it was very annoying. Maybe to the general public, it was such a beautiful class. Like, why is the baby crying? And Mart said something so profound that has just stuck with me. He said, how can we be bothered if we did the same thing? And if we're too bothered, we will have to do the same thing again. And it has such a depth in the statement that, we did the same thing, so how can we be bothered? And if we are bothered, we have to do the same thing again, like take a birth again, and have to go through that process. So I thought that he connected more of a just a kid crying in class, and he tied it in with the philosophy, and then he started talking about the baby, how he cries for a mother's love, and that's how we're crying for Radharani's love, and the talk just went in that direction. So that was just so profound in the way he did that, so I wanted to share that.
Wow, that's really beautiful. Does anyone have any last thoughts before we finish the discussion? I will share that I was thinking of Vaisheshika Maharaj, as we all know. He travels a lot, and whenever he travels, He always takes pictures of signs he sees in the airports and then connects them to the Lord in some way. And if you were here in the previous weeks, he's also been talking about the 24 gurus, where it's really a lesson that we can look around us and see so many connections to Krishna that we can learn from. And so I think this was a really nice verse and purport to read. Now we will move on to some more reading, but rather than verses, we're going to be reading from the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So that will be up. And as soon as it is up, we will read 2 paragraphs each. You can raise your hands. I will get us started. Chapter 12, The Journey to America. Today the ship is plying very smoothly. I feel today better. But I am feeling separation from Sri Vrindavan and my lords Sri Govinda, Gopinath, Radha Damodar. My only solace is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in which I am tasting the nectarine of Lord Chaitanya's Leela. I have left Bharatabhumi just to execute the order of Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. I have no qualification, but have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of His Divine Grace. I depend fully on their mercy, so far away from Vrindavan. Jaladuta Diary, September 10th, 1965. The Jaladuta is a regular cargo carrier of the Scindia Steam Navigation Company, but there is a passenger cabin aboard. During the voyage from Kolkata to New York in August and September of 1965, the cabin was occupied by Sri Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, whose age was listed as 69 and who was taken on board bearing a complimentary ticket with food. Vivan?
The Jaladuta, under the command of Captain Arun Pandya, whose wife was also aboard, left at 9 a.m. on Friday, August 13th. In his diary, Srila Prabhupada noted, the cabin is quite comfortable, thanks to Lord Sri Krishna for enlightening Sumati Morarji for all these arrangements. I'm quite comfortable. But on the 14th, he reported seasickness, dizziness, vomiting, Bay of Bengal, heavy rain, more sickness. On the 19th, when the ship arrived in Colombo, Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, Srila Prabhupada was able to get relief from his seasickness. The captains took him ashore, and he traveled around Colombo by car. Then the ship went on towards Cochin, on the west coast of India. Janmashtami, on the appearance day of Lord Sri Krishna, fell on the 20th of August that year. Prabhupada took the opportunity to speak to the crew about the philosophy of Lord Krishna, and he distributed prasadam he had cooked himself. August 21st was his 69th birthday, observed without ceremony at sea. That same day, the ship arrived at Cochin, and Srila Prabhupada's trunks of Srimad Bhagavatam volumes, which had been shipped from Bombay, were loaded on board. By the 23rd, the ship had put out to the Red Sea, where Srila Prabhupada encountered great difficulty. He noted in his diary, rain, seasickness, dizziness, headache, no appetite, vomiting. The symptoms persisted, but it was more than seasickness. The pains in his chest made him think he would die at any moment. In 2 days, he suffered 2 heart attacks. He tolerated the difficulty, meditating on the purpose of his mission, but after 2 days of such violent attacks, he thought that if another were to come, he would certainly not survive. On the night of the second day, Prabhupada had a dream. Lord Krishna in his many forms was rowing a boat, and he told Prabhupada that he should not fear, but he should come along. Prabhupada felt assured of Lord Sri Krishna's protection. The violent attacks did not occur. The Jaladuta entered the Suez Canal on September 1st and stopped in Port Said on the 2nd. Srila Prabhupada visited the city with the captain and said that he liked it. By the 6th, he had recovered a little from his illness and was eating regularly for the first time in 2 weeks, having cooked his own khichdi and puris. He reported in his diary that his strength renewed little by little. Thursday, September 9th. To 4 o'clock this afternoon, we have crossed over the Atlantic Ocean for 24 hours. The whole day was clear and almost smooth. I'm taking my food regularly and have got some strength to struggle. There's also a slight tap tacking of the ship, and I'm feeling a slight headache, sir. I'm struggling, but I'm struggling, and the nectarian life of the nectarian, and the nectarine of life is Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the source of all my vitality. Friday, September 10th. Today the ship is plying very smoothly. I feel today better, but I'm feeling separation from Sri Vrindavan and my Lord Sri Govinda, Gopinath, and Radha Damodar. The only solace is Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in which I'm tasting the nectarine of Lord Chaitanya's Leela pastimes. I have left Bharat Bhumi just to execute the order of Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. I have no qualification, but have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of His divine grace. I depend fully on their mercy, so far away from Vrindavan. During the voyage, Srila Prabhupada sometimes stood on deck at the ship's rail, watching the ocean and the sky, and thinking of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vrindavan Dham, and the order of his spiritual master to go preach in the West. Mrs. Pandya, the captain's wife, whom Srila Prabhupada considered to be an intelligent and learned lady, foretold Srila Prabhupada's future. If you were to pass beyond this crisis in his health, she said, it would indicate the goodwill of Lord Krishna.
Arya.
Do we read?
You can read, I think, two to three.
The ocean voyage of 1965 was a calm one for the Jaladuta. The captain said that never in his entire career had he such a calm Atlantic crossing. Prabhupada replied that the calmness was Lord Krishna's mercy, and Miss Pandya asked Prabhupada to come back with them so they might have another such crossing. Srila Prabhupada wrote in his diary, if the Atlantic would have shown its usual face, perhaps I would have died. But Lord Krishna has taken charge of the ship. On September 13th, Prabhupada noted in his diary, 32nd day of journey, cooked body khichdi. It appeared to be delicious, so I was able to take some food. Today I have disclosed my mind to my companion, Lord Krishna. There is a Bengali poem made by me in this connection. This poem was a prayer to Lord Krishna, and it is filled with Prabhupada's devotional confidence in the mission that he had undertaken on behalf of his spiritual master. An English translation of the opening stands as follows. See appendix for the complete Bengali verses with English translation. I emphatically say to you, O brothers, you will obtain your good fortune from the Supreme Lord Krishna only when Srimati Radharani becomes pleased with you. Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya, the son of Mother Sachi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. He is that great saintly spiritual master who bestows intense devotion to Krishna at different places throughout the world. By his strong desire, the holy name of Lord Gauranga will spread throughout all the countries of the Western world, in all the cities, towns, and villages on the earth. From all the oceans, seas, rivers, and streams, everyone will chant the holy name of Krishna. As the vast mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conquers all the directions, a flood of transcendental ecstasy will certainly cover the land. When all the sinful, miserable living entities become happy, the Vaishnava's desire is then fulfilled. Although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am not worthy or fit to do it. I am fallen and insignificant. Therefore, O Lord, now I am begging for your mercy, so that I may become worthy. For you are the wisest and most experienced of all.
The poem ends. Today, that remembrance of you came to me in a very nice way. Because I have a great longing, I call to you. I am your external servant, and therefore I desire your association so much. O Lord Krishna, except for you, there is no means of success. In the same straightforward, factual manner in which he had noted the date, the weather, and state of his health, he now described the helpless dependence on his companion, Lord Krishna, and his absorption in ecstasy of separation from Krishna. He described the relationship between the spiritual master and the disciple, and he praised his own spiritual master, Sri Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, by whose strong desire the holy name of Lord Gauranga will spread throughout all the countries of the Western world. He plainly stated that his spiritual master had ordered him to accomplish the mission of worldwide Krishna consciousness, and feeling unworthy, he prayed to Lord Krishna for strength. The last verse gave an unexpected, confidential glimpse into Srila Prabhupada's direct relationship with Lord Krishna. Prabhupada called on Krishna as his dear friend, and longed for the joy of again wandering the fields of Raja. This memory of Krishna, he wrote, came because of a great desire to serve the Lord. Externally, Srila Prabhupada was experiencing great inconvenience. He had been aboard a ship for a month and suffered heart attacks and repeated seasickness. Moreover, even if he were able even if he were to recover from these difficulties, his arrival in America would undoubtedly bring many more difficulties. But remembering the desire of his spiritual master, taking strength from his reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and revealing his mind in his prayer to Lord Krishna, Prabhupada remained confident. After a 35-day journey from Calcutta, the Jaladuta reached Boston's Commonwealth Pier at 5:30 a.m. on September 17, 1965. The ship was to stop briefly in Boston before proceeding to New York City. Among the first things Srila Prabhupada saw in America were the letters A and P painted on a pier-front warehouse. The gray waterfront dawn revealed the ships in the harbor, a conglomeration of lobster stands and drab buildings, and rising in the distance the Boston skyline. Prabhupada had to pass through U.S. Immigrations and Customs in Boston. His visa allowed him a 3-month stay, and an official stamped it to indicate his expected date of his departure. Captain Pandya invited Prabhupada to take a walk into Boston, where the captain intended to do some shopping. They walked across a footbridge into a busy commercial area with all churches, warehouses, office building, bars, tawdry bookshops, nightclubs, and restaurants. Prabhupada briefly observed the city. The most significant thing about his short stay in Boston, aside from the fact that he had now set foot was that the Commonwealth Pier he wrote another Bengali poem entitled Teachings Krishna Consciousness in America. Some of the verses he wrote on the ship, on board the ship that day are as follows.
See appendix for the complete Bengali version with the English translation. My dear Lord Krishna, you're so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me. But I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Most of the population here is covered by the material modes of nature, of ignorance and passion. Absorbed in material life, they think themselves very happy and satisfied, and therefore they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudeva, Krishna. I do not know how they will be able to understand it, but I know that your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you're the most expert mystic. How will They understand the mellows of devotional service. O Lord, I am simply praying for your mercy so that I will be able to convince them about your message. All living entities have come under the control of the illusory energy by your will, and therefore, if you like, by your will, they can also be released from the clutches of illusion. I wish that you may be able to deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me success or failure, as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their heart, they will certainly feel gladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. Make me dance, O Lord. Make me dance as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Lord Krishna. I have been designated as Bhaktivedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhaktivedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. On board the ship Jaladuta, Commonwealth Pier, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, dated 18th September 1965. He was now in America. He was in a major American city, rich with billions, populated with millions, and determined to stay the way it was. Prabhupada saw Boston from the viewpoint of a pure devotee of Krishna. He saw the hellish city life, people dedicated to the illusion of material happiness. All his dedication and training moved him to give these people the transcendental knowledge and saving grace of Krishna consciousness. Yet he was feeling weak, lowly, and unable to help them on his own. He was but an insignificant beggar, with no money. He had barely survived the two heart attacks at sea. He spoke a different language. He dressed strangely. Yet he had come to tell people to give up meat eating, illicit sex, intoxication, and gambling, and to teach them to worship Lord Krishna, who to them was a mythical Hindu god. What would he be able to accomplish? Helplessly, he spoke his heart directly to God. I wish that you may deliver them. I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, and for convincing them he would trust in the power of God's holy names and in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This transcendental sound would clean away desire for material enjoyment from their hearts and awaken loving service to Krishna. On the streets of Boston, Prabhupada was aware of the power of ignorance and passion that dominated the city, but he had faith in the transcendental process. He was tiny, but God was infinite, and God was Krishna, his dear friend.
On the 19th of September, the Jaladuta sailed into New York Harbor and docked at a Brooklyn pier at 17th Street. Srila Prabhupada saw the awesome Manhattan skyline, the Empire State Building, and, like millions of visitors and immigrants in the past, the Statue of Liberty. Srila Prabhupada was dressed appropriately for a resident of Vrindavan. He wore Kantimala and a simple Karan dhoti, and he carried a Japamala, and an old chadar, or shawl. His complexion was golden, his head shaven, shika on the back, his forehead decorated with a whitish Vaishnava tilak. He wore pointed white rubber slippers, not uncommon for sadhus in India, but who in New York had ever seen or dreamed of anyone appearing like this Vaishnava? He was possibly the first Vaishnava sannyasi to arrive in New York with uncompromised appearance. Of course, New Yorkers have the expertise in not giving much attention to any kind of strange new arrival. Srila Prabhupada was on his own. He had a sponsor, Mr. Agarwal, somewhere in Pennsylvania. Surely someone would be here to greet him, although he had little idea of what to do as he walked off the ship onto the pier. I did not know whether to turn left or right. He passed the dockside formalities and was met by a representative from Travelers Aid, sent by the Agarwals in Pennsylvania. who offered to take him to Sky India ticket office in Manhattan to book his return passage to India. Hare Krishna.
At the Skindia office, Prabhupada spoke with the ticket agent, Joseph Forster, who was impressed by this unusual passenger's Vaishnav appearance, his light luggage, and his apparent poverty. He regarded Prabhupada as a priest. Most Skindia's passengers were businessmen or families, so Mr. Forster had never seen a passenger wearing a traditional Vaishnava dress of India. He found Srila Prabhupada to be a pleasant gentleman who spoke of the nice accommodations and treatment he had received aboard the Jaladuta. Prabhupada asked Mr. Forster to hold a space for him on a return ship to India. His plans were to leave in about 2 months, and he told Mr. Forster that he would keep in touch. Carrying only 40 rupees cash, which he himself called a few hours spending in New York, an additional $20 he had collected from selling 3 volumes of Bhagavatam to Captain Pandya. Srila Prabhupada, with umbrella and suitcase in hand and still escorted by the traveler's aid representative, set out for the Port Authority bus terminal to arrange for his trip to Butler.
Thank you everyone for reading. And what a beautiful chapter. I feel like this just encompasses every detail of Prabhupada's journey, the main part of it, his life in Jaladita, and then him noticing the people in America for the first time. We will have reflections in the end, but I wanted to ask, maybe we could share a few till the reading is fresh in our mind. So if any of you would like to share something that stuck out to you. Yeah, Parth, do you want to start us off?
So, one thing that really stuck out to me from this reading was that since Prabhupada got a message from his spiritual master, he was determined to execute the message no matter what. Because on the ship for like more than a month, or for a month, he had 2 heart attacks, seasickness, wasn't able to eat. He had so many problems. But still, with that, he had the determination to go through all of that. Plus, he had so much faith in Krishna consciousness that he made Lord Krishna his dear friend. And and as we read, having Krishna with him all the time, having that faith, allowed him to not only able to go through the full journey, but was able to, now after this we'll start reading like how he's able to uh get people to change from their normal, like what they've been doing, the 4 regulative principles, to start worshiping Krishna.
Yeah, I liked your point about having faith in the spiritual master and just that like one teaching and how far that took Prabhupada just because he had that internal faith and he was ready to go on. And I was thinking about what a tapasya that is. Like when we talk about tapasya or when I've heard about tapasya, it's like really hard penance. And in this age, that's not possible. But what Prabhupada did was definitely tapasya, and he went through a lot just for us. Yeah, Arav?
Hare Krishna. I was very, uh, I was very interested in reading about Prabhupada's. I've heard this poem by Prabhupada, Boro Kripa Koilai Krishna, and I think the 14th verse he says, Aniyacho Jale Prabhu, Amare Nachate, Nachao Nachao Prabhu, Nachao Semate. So he's saying, I'm I'm a puppet. Dance the way you want to make me dance. And Srila Prabhupada is basically telling Krishna that I'm yours. There's nothing else. He's pleasing his spiritual master. He's pleasing his dear friend Krishna, as he's saying inside the Prabhupada Lilamrit. and he has so much humility. He says he doesn't have any bhakti himself, but he says, let Krishna come through my words and purify these people of America. It doesn't even seem possible, like what he's done. All these disciples he has here, all the temple he's made. For a regular person, it's really difficult, but he had pure bhakti, and Krishna came and he helped him in making all of this.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, it's just such humility. And I was also noticing that fact of how Prabhupada signed the letter, signed the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar. And I was thinking, like, if Prabhupada is an insignificant, unfortunate beggar, then what are we? But so much humility. Um, and also the point that you were saying in Boro Kripa, Goyale Krishna, like, I think the line is like, make me dance the way you wish. And that also just shows so much detachment that he had of doing his duty, but not with the results and in whatever way Krishna wanted it to happen, which is really beautiful. Yeah, Manjari.
Yeah, kind of going off like the similar conversation. Like when he was saying it was very sweet when like his surrender for Krishna when he was saying like no matter like he was like just asking like you brought me here, but like if I succeed or fail, like it's up to you. He didn't be like, oh like please help me succeed or whatever. But it was whatever the result is, it's up to you. So that was really nice.
Yes. I also find it really interesting to see America with Prabhupada's eyes. Like, and there's one thing that caught me. I was listening to a lecture by Devamrita Swami, and he was talking about non-traditional preaching. And he said that when Prabhupada came to America, he was actually evaluating people. He was observing them, their ways of learning, and he was learning them. And Marge said that there's so many disciples of Prabhupada that have learned the way of bhakti, so many words that maybe are unfamiliar to them, but they've learned about that culture. It's a whole different culture. And he was saying that if those devotees can understand that culture, then the wheel can certainly go the other way. Like we can also take the time to understand and see how people work in different cultures and giving them Krishna consciousness. So just thinking about that point. Thank you, Manjari. Nice to see you here. Anyone else want to share? Ava, go ahead.
How Prabhupada viewed Boston really stood out to me as well because I think it connected with the Ishopanishad verse we talked about, and in the purport, I think they mentioned the word anupashanti, which I think means we should not see things with the naked material eye, but rather follow the previous acharyas. So I think Prabhupada is a clear live example of this, what they were talking about in the purport. So it's really interesting to see how he viewed Boston in America, not from the material eye, but rather following his guru, and really shows the importance of parampara.
You have such a good memory. I totally forgot that was mentioned in the purport.
I referred to the purport as well.
That was a great connection. I liked how you connected that. But should follow the previous acharyas. Yeah. Yeah, Prabhupada definitely saw everything in a spiritual lens, which is crazy to think about. All right, thank you, everyone. And we'll have more reflection, so don't worry if you didn't get your reflection down here. And something that we've started doing in UGEM is just a little bit of chanting towards the end after our reading. So we can do maybe 5 minutes of it today, and we'll do it together. And you can do it on muted mics. I'll keep mine unmuted so we can have a pace that we're following. But we'll take maybe 2 seconds, get your japa beats or a counter, or if you want to use your hands, that's a great counter as well. Right, and we'll do maybe about 5-6 minutes of it. Right. So we're going to start with the Panchatattva mantra, which is the gateway mantra, because Mahaprabhu opens that gate for us to chant Krishna's names. So let's start with that. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Last two beats. We'll put all our attention. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, everyone, for chanting all together. How did it feel? I know it was a little short. Anybody want to share? Parth, yeah.
It felt great while like chanting all together. It felt like in association, like with all the devotees.
Yeah, it's really a collective bliss because everyone's doing the same thing and you're all realizing that I'm putting my time in this practice. Do any of you have a daily chanting practice? Yes? No? Anybody who has a daily chanting practice? Okay, Arav, great. Parth, I'm not doing this to call, I'm just asking to see. Did anybody who has a daily chanting practice, do they want to share something, the good, the bad? How's it going?
So me and my brother, we like before school, we try to chant like at least like 2 rounds, so that we at least keep Krishna in our day.
That's sweet. Before you do anything, just putting that out there.
Yeah, first like make our bed, brush, then like we go chant our rounds, and then we continue our day from there.
Wow. Who helped you set that routine up? Was it you and your brother that together decided?
Yeah, and our dad also helped us with that one.
Nice. Yeah, Arav?
Hare Krishna. I try doing my daily quota of rounds, most of them in the morning and then some of them after I get back from school. And I think it's nice to have an amount of rounds that you do very good each day. So this you should have a certain amount of rounds that you do with full focus, you do it, full attention, and the more rounds you can do like that is the better. So in the morning, I really tried just to focus my mind, even though it's a little bit difficult because it's still like new and all of this outside stuff and and chanting, focusing your mind on chanting is not always the easiest, but when you can do it correctly, it's very rewarding. It feels like you've gotten a little bit of bhakti generated from just chanting, and it's some attraction for the holy name.
I love how you put that. I like the word generated, bhakti. I wish we could have like a meter. I'm chanting. How much bhakti am I generating right now? Thanks for sharing your experience, Arav. Yeah, I found that my mind also goes into random places, but bringing it back helps, and definitely setting a set quota of rounds that I want to do each day, even if it's a small amount, really helps me too. Right. Anyone else want to share? It doesn't have to be chanting, it can be anything in your life, general reflections, what you're loving, what you're hating, any complaints, any observations. Nice to see you here, Ananya. Thank you for joining. How are you? How's it going? Do you want to share something?
I don't really have that much anything to share, but I just feel like I started reading more Bhagavad Gita recently. I started doing deep studies in it, and I feel like it's so nice because you know how you read the Bhagavad Gita one time through and you like just get it, but then when you actually like highlight and like take notes on it, I feel like you get more information every single time you read it.
Yeah, that's sweet. That's something I've also started doing. I like that you mentioned the word deep study. What do you do in your deep study? Like, do you use like highlighters? Like, how do you do it?
Like if I see like a point I've never like learned, I would like highlight it or write it down on my notebook and just like try to like memorize verses if I like really like them.
That's sweet. Yeah, I don't know if you know about these. I've started using them. It's been a year or two, but these little tabs,
Oh yeah,
you know
I
about these? Yeah, they're like little sticky things. You can put them in your book, and it looks kind of aesthetic too, if anybody wants to try it.
yeah.
Yeah, Vivan, go ahead.
So, I was just thinking about this. So, I just recently listened to a class by His Grace Amrinder Prabhu, and he talked about, I can't remember the full acronym, but he talked about this acronym for whenever you're analyzing uh, any literature
Mhm.
and like spiritual literature, and the acronym was respect. So R would be relish repeated readings. So you want to try to like reread it over and over, especially parts that you don't understand. Then E would be, I kind of forgot what E is, and then um, S is S is a storyline. So don't forget the storyline uh of the verses. So you wanna like, let's say you're reading and then you're like, oh, who was talking again? You don't want to like forget that part. And then P would be draw parallels between like something that you're reading right now and something that you've read in the past. Then E would be examples. So think of different examples like to this thing that they're talking about. Then another C would be listen to commentary, and then like commentary over that verse. Like if you, let's say, you don't understand what that verse is entirely saying, so you can listen to some commentary or lectures on that. Then T would be I forgot what T is also. And then S is you want to, there's one S at the end too. I forgot what that is too. So basically those that acronym helps you like remember how to analyze and go deeper while you're studying a specific like topic or specific book.
That's really helpful, actually. I like the way you put that. I tried to get down everything you were saying, but if someone wants to add to what Vivan said, feel free. These are like practical drops of wisdom, Vivan. I love listening to Amrita Prabhu's lectures too. They're awesome. Yeah, Parth?
So adding on to what my brother said, respect. So it goes R for relish repeated reading, E for extract, S for storyline, P for what was the other P? I forgot. The one,
Parallels.
yeah, that one. And then E for the other E for
Examples.
examples. So P was parallels, E was examples. So like see like, oh, this is like another example that makes sense. C is for like commentary, and then T could be for like what was T? I forgot T. But it was a good acronym to remember it. It's helped me a lot too.
I love that. You guys have like a club together? How do you guys know the same acronym?
We were both in Abrinder Prabhu's class.
Oh, he came to Dallas? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
He's
he's
not
in
in
Dallas right now.
Dallas. He's
Oh,
talking about the
right.
5 limbs of bhakti.
Right. Oh my God, you lucky people. That's amazing. All right, that was really helpful. And we'll wait till next U Gem to get what T means. So keep us updated. Don't forget. All right. Any last ones before we end off for today? All right. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining you, Gem. This was just really wonderful being with all of you, reading, chanting, and also reflecting. So we'll make a little prayer. Dear Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Srila Prabhupada, if you so desire, Please empower everyone who joined UGEM, everyone who thought about joining UGEM, everyone who might join UGEM in the future to be steady in their service and be a kind friend to everyone they meet. If you agree with this prayer in whole or in heart, please respond with a cool emoji. Let's see what everyone's got. It has to be so unique that we've never seen it before. All right, Rhina's got a good one. Oh, now we've got some frogs, okay. I'm struggling to find one. A boot? Has anybody seen a boot? Oh, we've got some in the chat. Okay. Is that a temple, Vivan, that you put? Yeah? All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Free ball.
Joining. We'll
Hare
see you.
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, bye.